Today on Pots and Trowels, I'm going to show you how to make a simple Christmas decoration from some stems and foliage, and that's brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden and Allett. Hello, welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, it's only just over a week to Christmas and it's all starting to feel a bit Christmassy now. And because the weather here is pretty rubbish outside, it's cold and wet and miserable, I've decided to come inside and make a festive decoration using natural materials. So I'm just going to show you how to do it. Hopefully it'll work. You'll never know. You'll have to wait until the end to find out. You need some materials to do it, and really what you want is some straight twigs or stems, either from the garden or foraged from a hedgerow somewhere. So if you've got some colourful dogwoods like these are ideal. They will inject a bit of colour into it as well. But what I'm going to use are these stems. These are from a hazel and it's just growing in a hedgerow up where we take Molly for a walk. So I went out and did a bit of a raid the other morning and just cut some of these new stems, this 1-year-old growth. So anything like that can be used. Jill's actually made one. She went and collected some fallen dead wood that had blown out of a tree after the storm the other week, which are quite thick and mossy, and she's made a very rustic version of this, which I'll show you later on. We could probably have a little bit of a vote, couldn't we, to see which one you like the best. I'm sure Jill's will win. So what we need to do is to cut some stems to length. So you need a pair of secateurs. It's going to be in the shape of a Christmas tree. You're looking at it at the minute from upside down, and I'm starting with the first one, which is approximately 40 centimeters, and then I'm reducing them by 5 centimeters or 2 inches as we go up. So we've gone 40, 35, 30, 25. So what I've got to do is then cut them to length. So it's just a case of getting our twig. Just check that one is 25. So this one I'm going to cut to 20, so just using my secateurs there, cut that one to 20, like that, whoops, and then we're going to have a 15 for the next one. Just trim that a little bit off, 15, a 10, and finish off with a 5. Like that, and then they will be arranged like that. So you can see that gives us the shape of our Christmas tree going in. Now what we've got to do is tie all of those together, and you could put stems up, but we want it to sort of have a bit of movement in there. So I'm going to use some string, and what we need to do is to measure a piece of string that is going to be long enough to do this. So just pull some string out of the roll. I think the easiest way to do it is it's got to be that length, but then we've got to do the knots around it. So I'm actually going to double it to give us plenty and a bit more, just to make sure we've got enough to go around, and just trim that off with the secateurs, and then we've got plenty of string to do it. So what I'll do now is show you how to do the knots. To start off, we're going to tie onto the base with a slip knot. So I'm just going to make a loop and then just pull that through like that, and then that can slip over the end, and then we can tighten that up. So that gives us a nice firm base, and we can trim all these little bits off afterwards. And I'm coming in about 1.5 inches there, about 4 centimeters, that was a good guess, from the edge. So we're going to do that on each one. I also need to make sure we've got the spacings right as well. So what I'm going to do is, again, it's not exact, but I'm going to go roughly, I want it to be about just over 3 inches, about 8 centimeters between each of the different pieces of twig. So what we're going to do is a clove. Now I was never in the Boy Scouts, I'm not so good at knots. So what we do is we take our piece of string, we loop it over, bring it right back. The trouble is you've got a long piece of string. Bring it back over, and then we're going to loop it over the top like that. And I just put my thumb on to hold it while I pull this surplus string. That goes underneath like that, and then what we're going to do is we are going to feed this through there, it is a bit fiddly, I must admit. and hopefully that will give us our clove knot. And I'm just going to check that it's roughly, it's not exactly, about 8 centimeters, and then we can just pull that tight when we're happy, and that is fine. So then what we're going to do is get our next one, measure it. If you think it's not right that way, there is a little bit of adjustment, so I'm just going to slide it so it's in the right place. And then the next one in, about 8 centimeters, that's near enough. So we go over, bring it round underneath towards me, and then back over the top, and then underneath again, and then take the end and just loop it through, and then just pull that. Maybe I should have been in the Boy Scouts after all. Get the hang of this quite well. Now that one I can see is not right, but fear not, because you can just slacken it off a little and then slide it to the right position, and then we can just tighten it. So there we go. So I'm going to carry on like that, working my way up until we get to the top, and then I've got to repeat it, of course, on the opposite side, and I'll show you what it's like when we've done that. So I've knotted one side, as you can see. So what I've done now is cut myself a second piece of string, just put my slip knot on the bottom, and I've got to repeat that all the way up this side to finish it off. What I've got to make sure is that when I do this, the gaps are all the same. So it's just a case of pulling it round, looping it through like that. It's quite tricky at the beginning because you seem to have a lot of string, but once you've done a few, the string gets shorter and becomes easier. So there we go. So what I'm just going to make sure is that my gaps are the same on both sides. So I think I just need to lengthen that one a little bit. So I'm just going to slacken it off, adjust it, and then I can tighten it up so that I've got a parallel gap there. So it's just a case of working your way up the other side until we get to the top. So I've got to the top, and I'm just going to, got 2 lengths of string. I'm just going to put a knot in those just to make a loop really, so we can hang it up. So I'm just going to do that, and then I can cut those tails off with some snips. Like that. And that is the basic framework done. Now the weight of the sticks, of course, will hold it down. Now you can see when I lift it up, this is the front of the knot. The back is the bit where I was working, but this is going to be the front. It looks more attractive where you've got the 2 loops of string around there. If you want to be doubly safe that nothing's going to slip, and it shouldn't do because the weight will hold it in place, if you've got a glue gun, you could put just a little blob of glue on each of the back of the notch just to make sure it's secure. Then you can save it and put it away for next year. So that's the basic frame. I'm quite pleased with that. I'll have to go and have a look what Jill's looks like. I'm going to trim off these bits of string at the bottom, and then the exciting bit, of course, is we're going to decorate it with some lovely evergreen and festive foliage. So that's my next job. So what I'm going to do is, using some of the ivy to give it a really natural feel on this hazel, I'm just going to cut some lengths. I'm going to fix them to it like that, and I'm going to just use some little bits of green wire, and all I'm going to do is just lay the ivy stem over there, just loop a little bit of wire over it like that, and then just twist that into place, and that will just hold it where we need it like that. And then I can just put another little bit of wire at either end, And I think if I just work my way then up the stem, doing that one there, and then I can put another one on this stem here, and another one then along there, that will just give it that natural feel. And then what I can do then is I can then add some little bits of holly onto there as well, various places up and down the framework, and that will just give it that festive look. So I'm just going to work my way up now, just fixing some of these little bits of wire just to hold this ivy in place. So now I've got all the ivy tied to the stems like this, I can finish it off. Now I've kept it really simple with ivy because I want to keep it holly and ivy, that theme, but of course you could use your ornaments, you could use eucalyptus or any evergreen foliage that you've got just to decorate it. But what I want to do, as I say, is keep it very simple. I just want to put a few sprigs of holly on there. So I've got a few little sprigs of holly with berries on. I don't want them to be too big, otherwise they're going to be out of scale with this. So to fasten them on, the way I'm going to do it is just to use a little bit of the florist's wire here. And what we do is we always bend the top over. It doesn't have to be florist wire, it could just be that very thin garden wire, green garden wire you get. Just bend the top over and back on itself like that. That stops it slipping when we wrap it round the stem. And then I'm going to hold that onto the stem and hold the top there with my thumb, and then just wrap that round 3 or 4 times as tight as you can, leaving a tail like that. So that is now quite firmly on there, and it means when we come to attach it, it will work. So I've already done a couple, so I'm going to put one at the bottom here. I'm just going to do every other one. It's just to get that little bit of evergreen foliage on there. Missed that one, so this one can go on there. So I'm just going to then lay that into position where I want it, and then you can just twist the wire around a couple of times like that, and that will hold that in place. Likewise with this one, just hold it at the angle that you want it, and then just twist that round into place. It's just a little bit short, but it will hold it, there's no weight on them. Likewise with this one here, and again you can decorate this with all sorts. You could put bits of conifer on there, works really well if you've got it, or any bay leaves look good on it. You can put variegated holly on it. You can really decorate it you want, and of course you can go a bit further. You could put little pine cones on it and any other little decorations that you've got, and that's it. It really is as simple as that. And then of course, just final thing to finish it off, I want to put a star on it, and I've just got a little star here that again I put a piece of wire through it, and that's just going to somehow, I'm not quite sure, fix onto the top. Hold that there. I'm just going to twist that round like that just to hold it in place, and I can always trim those wires off afterwards. And that is it. So that is our very, very simple Christmas decoration, just made from some bits of sticks I've cut out of the hedgerow. You could have got them out of your garden, just a little bit of evergreen foliage. And this has got the very traditional theme of the holly and the ivy, and that can go either indoors or outdoors, and that will look good all over the Christmas period. So what we're going to do is hang that up, and then I'm going to show you the one that Jill did as well, which we've already hung outside. Well, here you go. This is my finished Christmas tree. Very simple, twigs and ivy and a bit of holly on there. And this can go inside or outside. Jill's is slightly chunkier. She's got some dead wood that she picked up on a dog walk that had blown out of a tree, and some greenery on there, a bigger version of it, but absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to hang mine next to Jill's, just on a nail, just on the wall, just here. And then we can enjoy them over the Christmas period. Next week we're going to be back in the potting shed answering some of your gardening questions, so we'll see you then. Bye.